about the 1860s and ran really up until the First World War, when all the working horses were requisitioned for use in the war. And that's the coloured team, the black and white team, the piebalds. They're being driven by Ken Ruthen, and that whole turnout is owned by Ian Smith from Yorkshire. Ian has one of the very finest collections of carriages in the country. He's a very well-known collector and supporter of this wonderful sport. Ken himself used to be a policeman on the island of Bute, and so in recent years he's turned his hand to carriage driving and coaching, and worked for a short spell for Misty Wrigley of chewing gum fame over in the States. So those are all our competitors. Now, a bit later on for our horn-blown competition, we're going to have a mixture of calls and tunes. Now, on the road coaches, those are our commercial coaches. Those are the ones that were built as a result of the stage coaches, which were active on the roads. At one point, up to 4,000 coaches, 3,500 stage coaches and about 700 mail coaches. They were on the road during the golden era of coaching from the first quarter up to about 1840. From about 1815 to about 1840, that's really when the golden era of coaching went on, actually quite a short space of time. And then, of course, with the 1840s, the railways came in, so very, very quickly, coaching as a means of major conveyance was eclipsed. Then in the 1860s, about 20 years later, a number of wealthy gentlemen, some ladies, but mainly gentlemen, decided that the art of horsemanship and coaching was being lost, and so that's when we had the revival period. A mahogany box with zinc-lined containers to keep your drinks cold and your food cold. So it's really all very civilised. Now here we have our postilion rider on his cock horse. Now, there's quite a lot of theories behind the term cock horse. One of them is that it is a cock-tailed horse, because in the olden days when all working horses, be they hunters or carriage horses, used to have their tails docked, when the bone was literally cut off and the muscles underneath were severed. It sounds all horrific, but that's what happened, and that gave the tail a natural high carriage, and so all working horses used to have their tails docked. And the name of the bone in the tail of a horse is a coccytus, I think. So that's one theory behind it. The other theory is that if you were actually out in the open with these clever proprietors, were called the cock or something like that. The other thought is that when those tails were docked and they were held up in the air, it looked like a little bantam cock with this smart tail. So lots and lots of theories behind why we use the term cock horse, depending on the going. And a bit later on in the class, when we have the horn-blown competition, we'll announce some of the calls. And those calls are used by the horn-blower, by the guard on the back of the coach, to announce to the ostler, who was the chap who ran the yard with all the horses, to get the new team ready. Now, if you were actually stopping, you weren't stopping for a meal, if you were just getting your horses changed, that change of the team would take about 2 to 3 minutes. So that was what's known as a quick change, because you would set your watches by how quickly that coach was going. And certainly in the days of the mail coaches, when we had the pikeys who would run the toll booths, it's not a derogatory term as it's seen nowadays, they were known as pikeys, the turnpikers who would run the toll booths. They would throw open the toll booths, and the road mail coaches, the mail coaches wouldn't have to pay to go through. So now we've got Colin Barn coming out, Colin who's driving his team of Frisians to a private coach. And you'll see the private coaches are painted, finished on the door, on what's known as the wasteboard, so that's the bit just under the window. They would have very discreetly painted the family crest of whomever owned them. And the two chaps sitting on the back, known as the grooms on a private coach, they're known as liveried grooms. They're wearing what we call sort of town livery, and a top hat, a tailcoat, white breeches, and a huge amount of horse-drawn funerals with them. These lovely Dutch Frisian horses, we've got 2 teams of them with Joanne's team as well, and they are really beautifully suited to the job of driving. They have a natural good high head carriage, and they give you a lovely top line with their big deep crests. And naturally, all being the same colour, they're quite easy to match. So on the back of the coach, we've got Colin's daughter Vicky. Vicky, who's been blowing the horn since she was 12 years old. And I remember when Vicky first started, bless her, she had braces on her teeth. And she used to blow that coach horn with her braces on and have a bleeding mouth, but she'd still keep going. Oh, we've got Uncle John, and that's as it should be. With a private coach, you've got a fully matching team. That's really as you would expect it to be.
Nick, chill. Changing her.
So our judge there of this competition is Mario Brockhuis, who's come over from the Netherlands, an author and somebody who's been driving all sorts of horses and all sorts of competitions for many, many years. And he was saying to us last, so the coach Charles, who was probably an ex-serviceman, and one of the main reasons he had a red coat on was when he left the army, he probably took his coat with him, so that's why you see on the road coaches the guard in his red coat.
Look.
Our way through the slalom. Squeak out on the final pass. On to the next. Now we pick up the pace once again. Back down the ring. Long golf course, this one in the big grand ring here at Suffolk. On the turn back there. This is good so far. Yes, turns inside there. That's very good. 3 to go. 3 to go for Charlotte Adams Lane, fast and furious. You can see her physically pushing them on. Go on, you pair. Go on, fast and furious. This is the last. All the way through. As simple as that. That's how it works. So Charlotte Adams Lane sets the pace. Plus the 4 in out at the last. Our eagle-eyed team on the floor spotted that. And it's Sue Ridley that comes forward next. Prancer and Dancer. Sue's from 7/8 in Kent. Off we go. Oh, which she is chasing. Had a good run at Surrey earlier on this week. Through the first. Well, they're flying. Have you got away with it? Yes, you have. Out of there in 15. That's good, Sue. This could really set the pace. Up to the slalom. Now, looks for the line. You see the group on the back leaning left and right. Quickly as they come through there, tight as they can through those. Turns back now to the next. Onward we go. Running on well at the moment. Come on. Go. All the way to the finish. Through the last, touches the line in 58.39. That's a terrific drive. Swings back round. 4 to add their time, but it's still very very up to touch again. Away we go then. Sarah Cook, black and tan. Leading time, Sue Ridley, 58.39. Through the first. Very experienced driver indeed.
With the shades on.
Have you got a gun on you? I mean, you're not.
No, I haven't got the gun in there.
Good God. Do you get. Right. How long have you been doing this for?
You're doing a video.
I'm doing a video. Oh yeah. Well, it's nice to see an official.
Thank you. Can I have a beer?
Yeah.
Got to buy me his beer.
Anyway, I've got to buy you the beer now. What beer do you want?
Same as you.
I'm having a Stella.
Oh, that's fine.
Is Stella all right for you?
Yeah.
I'll get you a nice Stella.
I think it's yours.
Yeah, we are. Don't
I'm
worry,
sorry.
we'll move around. Don't worry, don't worry.
I didn't see glasses there. No. You haven't been drinking? No. I saw that blue box. I thought, oh. It didn't register. I'm sorry.
That's okay, don't worry.
Sorry.
Cheers.
You have to get that
Where
from
you
the bar.
going?
Yeah, I'll do it.
So we're just going to help ourselves, is it?
We could see as well.
Technology for you. So how's Ian keeping in? Is he?
Yeah, no,
doing
it's
well?
fine, man. Yeah, no. He's got a
Oh, that's what I wanted. Get it.
daughter's getting married in July.
Right.
And Lucy Blade comes up after that. Blade, if you'd like to come and join the lineup, please. And then the Childwick Shires to be a part of our lineup there, the next in line.
Do you think that you can carry your camera?